Pablo Gunner, going where countless others have probably gone with way more knowledge than he. But I'm here anyways to talk nerdy to you and review Star Trek The Strange New Worlds Season 3. My grade scale is must see, must stream for the stuff that is worth paying a streaming service for. Check it out for the mid, pass for the worst. As I said, I'm Pablo Gunner, and I'm going to review Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I won't even say a Trekkie because some people say that Trekkie is an offensive term. I don't know if it is. Call me Trekkie if you want. I'm not offended by it. I've heard Trekker. I don't see the difference. I hear the difference. I'm not deaf because they both mean that I love Star Trek. And I have loved Star Trek for a long time. I can't say exactly when. I do remember my mom got me a DVD of Star Trek. I want to say it's the Wrath of Khan, right? It's the second movie. I've been wanting to get into Star Trek Strange New Worlds for a long time, especially after watching Discovery. I really enjoyed Discovery. Yeah, I really only watched the first season, dipped out, and then got back for the final season, loved the final season. But hearing things about Strange New Worlds, I got back into it. Started at the beginning of the season. I didn't watch any of season 1 or season 2. I just started season 3, episode 1. Right away it was sucked in. I was like lost. I was very lost. I don't know what's going on. They're clearly in this epic battle that is spillover from the previous season, the finale. This feels like a season finale, like the part 2 of a season finale. Was it a great way to suck you in? Absolutely, if you watch the previous season and the finale to that season. Not if you just jumped in and this is your first episode. By the end of that first episode, I was crying because there's a character, her name's Ortegas, and she's dying. And I'm like, I care about this character. I don't know why, but I do. Maybe just because her name is a Spanish name and I relate to that. And she looks like people that I know and acts like people that I know. Going forward throughout the rest of the season, oh my God, this show made me feel like Star Trek is new again. The writing seems more fresh. The writing seems smarter, better. A big part of it to me was the comedy aspect of like how funny it was and how clever it was and how witty it is and how much heart it has. That's the biggest part, is that it has so much corazon. And that's what blew me away the most, is just the humor and the heart, relationships. The writing was just so well done. It just blew my mind and it just sucked me in so supremely. It even had me going back to rewatch the original movies. I had never watched the original Star Trek movie. Oh my gosh, I just fell in love with the characters. I fell in love. Spock has always been my favorite. I've related to Spock in so many ways because so many people have just told me, like, you have no expression, you have no emotions, you don't show emotions, you're just very stoic and you're very quiet, and you're very reserved. There's very many good reasons for that. One, obviously, being that I was in the Navy, but that's also something they've been saying to me since I was a kid. So it's not like it just wasn't ingrained in me in my work practices. So fell in love with that character all over again. They really focus on the characters in the show. They really have that growth, that development. It is small because you have many characters, right? You're juggling a lot of characters, so you can't have character growth in every single character in every single episode. That would be really, really hard. But even if it's incremental, it's just minor. Ooh, it's so good, so good, so good. Yeah, and the finale, I will say, was a little lackluster because it delved way more into sci-fi than it did science. This makes way more sense when you go like, well, the science doesn't make sense. Hey, it's way in the future. We don't know. But at the same time, completely get the gripes. Despite like the finale not being, I think, that great, it was still really solid finale. And I can't wait for more. And if I have the time, I'm gonna go back to season 1 and try to get caught up. I'm also gonna watch the Star Trek stuff that I haven't seen, that's old stuff, because that's the power too. Is, does it make you appreciate the old stuff? Does it make you want to go back to the original? And yes, it does. And it also makes me excited for the future. You got me in the past, the present, and the future. Boom, you're firing on all cylinders there. Hit it, because it is a must see, must stream without a doubt. Whether you are Trekkie Trekker or not, make it so. Check out our merch at TNTM the store, where I'm going to be throwing this as well as other Star Trek style merch on sale with free shipping. 5% of any profit that we make off our merch goes to a charity of the month, which is currently National Cancer Foundation. So help us, help them by buying some of this sweet merch, since the US government sucks and they cut pediatric cancer research. Thank you for watching, my fellow nerds, and you have the con.